Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Untold with your hosts Ahmad ALMazeedi and Hadeel AlMusaileem.
So today, Ahmed,
What a day we have today!
we have a doctor,
A talented doctor,
a volunteer,
an artist,
an artist.
Right.
He speaks Dutch,
speaks Dutch and Deutsch.
Deutsch.
I think he speaks Deutsch.
Deutsch. It's not
And,
Dutch, right? Yeah, I think
a
we're
little bit
saying
of
it wrong.
Dutch because they're kind of similar,
They
and has an invention that's patented as well.
And he's
You
not
know?
even that old.
No, he's
Is
just
he-
a phenomenal guy with a lot of achievements. So let's not waste any time and welcome our guest right after this. Welcome back to the show. We're being joined by our very special guest, Dr. Mohammad Kamal. Welcome on the show. Welcome to the Untold.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction.
Welcome to the Untold. So let's begin with your story. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm going to start early. So
Yes,
I
please
was-
do start early.
as
yes.
early in life,
Yes.
but as late as high school. So during high school, I started feeling that I have a passion mostly for art. So I was trying to focus mostly on art, still focusing on my studies, but still focusing on arts in most of my work. And at the same time, I was trying to excel and doing what I can do. I was wood carving at that time, and as it got closer to graduating from high school, I tried my best trying to finish early. So in high school, we were able to finish in 3.5 years. So as it got closer to finishing high school, it was difficult to find out what you want. Now, it's about time you like art. It's about time that you have to think about continuing education, thinking about dentistry, thinking about medicine.
How did you go from art to sciences?
So, art was my passion.
Okay. What forms of art we're talking about here?
The art that I was interested in was mostly wood carving.
Wood
So
carving.
taking a piece of wood, I used to go to the market, get a piece of wood and carve it, make it in a shape of a face or a flower or something that is
What
aesthetic.
interested you in that?
I think it's the handling, just using my hands.
Okay.
Okay,
Like
so probably
working with
not
your
the art
hands,
itself.
okay.
So
Okay.
you notice that it's
Creating with your hands is the beauty
creation,
of it.
just using
I see.
your hands and focusing on your manual dexterity, trying to bring ideas into reality. Although it was wood only, all of a
Right,
single color,
right.
it didn't matter at that time to me what color was the wood, what kind
Oh.
of wood. It was something that I could carve and shape.
Okay.
And then as it got closer to finishing high school, then it was about time to know exactly what you're going to do afterwards.
Right.
And this is where the dilemma begins. Now I know I want to go ahead and choose a proper work or a proper career. And it was the question of choosing between medicine and dentistry. And that's where I started.
Okay.
I think you have to start with medicine and then you specialize, right?
Well, at that time, I said, let's do medicine. Then I said, no, medicine is going to be hard to use your hands. Oh, a lot of people are just giving prescriptions.
All right.
We didn't have time. We were young. I was 17 when I finished from high school. So, no, the decision was to go into dentistry. Many people told me that dentistry is the way to go. You're going to use your hands. I said,
Okay.
yeah, but I don't like to be focused in one area. I need to do something bigger. But at that time, the decision was to go to dentistry. Because again, it's mostly has to do with skills,
Right.
and you can excel with your work. So I took the decision to go to dentistry, and since at that time we didn't have any schools in Kuwait, I applied for the scholarships.
Oh,
So I got the scholarship. I had like a 4.0 GPA in high school.
4.0 GPA.
4.0
really
at that
good.
time was a big deal. Yeah,
Yeah, it is a
Getting
big
high-
deal.
Still a big deal.
It's always going to be a big deal.
4.0 GPA
Yeah.
and finishing in 3.5 years. So I finished in
Wow.
December, I remember, but then That was because there was nothing afterwards. There no dental school. The scholarship starts in, you start applying in July.
Right.
So 6 months I had plenty of time to think and keep changing my mind.
Right.
I thought about engineering. I thought about many other specialties.
Good. You had a lot of
So
options, which is
it
good.
was difficult, a lot of options. In fact, when I interviewed in the newspapers at that time, they were interviewing the students in the newspapers. I was saying
the
that
top students.
top students
Right.
at that time, yeah. I said I want to do engineering. Now, when I look at my, what did I comment at that time? It was, I was saying engineering. But then I had plenty of time to think, 6 months. So I was
You
sitting.
changed your mind, and
I decided at that time to do dentistry. I changed my mind in the last
And-
minute
Last minute.
that dentistry is the way to go.
Okay.
And it all started from there. 17 years old.
Well, now, where did
Decided.
you go take your scholarship in?
So the scholarship, it was to the United States. So we were told that you're going to go to the U.S. There are 4 schools or 4 cities: Kansas, Virginia, Boston, or somewhere else. And
Less options back then.
less the options back then, and I didn't have the option to go anywhere. So I was told, you're going to go to Boston University, and this is your ticket, and you're going to fly next week, and you have to go to
it was
Boston.
very
Different
quick.
situation right
It
now.
was a different situation.
Different
so, yeah.
situation.
So I remember we got the ticket, we went to
Uh-huh.
the U.S. I have never been to the U.S., so it was a
Right.
totally new experience for me.
Did you go by yourself?
We were going in a group, so we were 4 students. We went together.
Okay.
So we used to get the tickets from the embassy. We got the tickets. We went there. It was a new experience for us just to
How
step
was
in
it,
there.
like, adjusting?
It was very difficult at that time because I didn't know anybody in the city that I went to. I didn't meet any student studying dentistry, at least in the first few days. So, and it was difficult to call back home. So you cannot just, it's not like now where you have your cell phone with you all the time. Over there you
Right.
had to find out how to call Kuwait. And they tell you, go buy a calling card.
Calling cards.
What
So
about-
you go to a shop, you buy a calling card, and you call by the minute.
What about the language barrier? Did you have any language barrier?
So again, since I'm coming from the government, a government school, I had to go through a period of language preparation. So English
Okay.
for a second language. We had to
Okay.
take courses. And getting into Boston University required us to study and prepare for the SAT exam and the TOEFL. So the challenge started early. That was probably the first challenge in my life. That we went on a
SATs are
scholarship,
hard.
and I expected things to be ready for me. Red carpet is laid down for me, but I noticed that you had to get a score on your TOEFL and your SAT to get into the undergraduate program at Boston. So that's where it all started. We had 4 years of undergraduate education. It was a really great period of my life. I had to take a lot of courses. I discovered I met a lot of friends at that time. And then after that, you had to, again, take examinations in order to progress to dentistry. And then I started having the feeling, that I don't like
Homesick?
dentistry. I don't like dentistry.
How far in are
It
we
was
talking
after
here?
4 years. So
After 4
once-
years, I don't like dentistry.
After 4 years
I
taking
graduated
science
and
courses
that's
and
not what I
all of
wanna
that, went to first year of dental school. Then I said, okay, it's good. I like it, but this is not exactly what I like it. I like medicine more, but now it's too late. You're 4 years
4 years in,
into the field.
yeah. You got a
and
few years left, I think.
I didn't know what to do. 3 more years to go.
3 more years to go.
4 more years to go, and it was a specialty focusing on a single topic. And then suddenly I started knowing that there is a specialty called oral and maxillofacial surgery. Now,
Okay.
what is that?
Please explain.
Explain.
Oral and maxillofacial surgery. The name is difficult, but
Yeah.
it's the name of different parts of the human body. Oral means mouth.
Right.
Maxillo means portion of the face. Facial means the whole facial region. So there was a specialty called oral and maxillofacial surgery, and everybody in the dental school over there in the U.S., they were speaking highly about it. So I didn't know what is that. I had to go and read,
You're
and I found out
curious.
that this is a specialty that you can do surgeries anywhere in the face. People sustaining from trauma, people needing to do
That's-
cosmetic surgery, patients who have deformed faces. Now it's a time that you can go and do procedures and do it.
Specialize.
Yeah, it's a highly specialized specialty, but I found about it early during my dental school education. And it requires you to study medicine. So again, I found the route getting closer to what I like. So at that time, I was able to decide this is a specialty I like. Doing surgeries, using my hands, artistic, lots of cosmetics and lots of
Right.
beautification process that is involved in it. Philosophically, I will improve patients' lifestyle
Yeah.
and how they're going to proceed with their life. I will study medicine. This is what I want from medicine. I will keep my dentistry skill and continue with dentistry. So,
So you finished your 7 years now.
so now I worked hard in dental school,
Okay.
and that was a time when I understood what is excellence. You have to go now to get to that. You have to prove yourself and get the best. The
Can you-
challenge was to get the best out of it.
Can you define what you mean by excellence?
So when I decided I want to do this specialty, I was told right away that you have to be the best in your class. I said, okay, the best will be the top 10. They said, no, the best means the best of the best.
Number
You
one.
have to be number one, not number two, not number three. So I remember the dean of the school at that time, Boston University. He told me, okay, if this is what you're dreaming of, this was my dream and I couldn't achieve it. And if you want to do it, we'll help you. But there is one circumstance that you have to score very high in your international board examinations or the American board examination. At the same time, you have to score the number one rank among all of the graduates here, all of our
They
dental
only
students.
take number one?
Well, the challenge is high because there are only a few seats in the United States for the specialty.
Yeah.
So the challenge is high, especially for us coming from outside of the United States.
Yeah.
So that where I had a change in my mindset that I have to achieve the best and always aim at the best. So my focus started
And,
now.
was it like a one try, or you can try multiple times?
It was multiple times trial.
Okay.
But the thing in dental school while you're studying, that was something that changed my life. Now I have a goal. The goal is still a few years ahead of me, but you have to lay the foundation now, and you have to
Right.
study hard in order to get the grades that you want to move in. And this is probably what changed me in terms of personality, that led me into thinking of achieving the best, looking at the best option. What is the best? How do I get the best results? How do I seek the best university, the best? So this is a change of mindset that I got at that time, and still continuing on it. It's because of that effect during dental school education.
That's quite a journey, I would
It
say.
is,
You know? But are
like-
we still in Boston? Did we leave Boston yet?
Now I finished Boston, came to
Okay.
Kuwait. I
Okay.
worked as a general dentist,
All right.
and still I had that passion. I went on a scholarship from Kuwait University to go into my dream specialty, and I was very grateful to my country for giving me this opportunity. Now I'm going into an area where there was an appreciation that you want to become a surgeon, you want to also study medicine, you want to also educate now. Now you're thinking with a different mindset that you have to educate the new generation in Kuwait. Okay, do what you want to do it well, and come back to your country. Now you're teaching the young students at Kuwait University, the new school that started after I left Kuwait. So that was a change, another step improvement in my life when I went again to the United States to continue with the specialization and studying medicine. And then in order to complete the process completely and get the full medical degree, I had to go a couple of years to the American University in Beirut. I also spent a couple of years there. And then I returned back to Kuwait. I worked as a medical doctor. So Before that, I worked as a general dentist.
Right.
Now I came back again after a few
As
years working as a
general
medical doctor,
How do you
exploring a
compare these
specialty.
two experiences? Working as a dentist, working as a doctor, general doctor. How did these experiences compare?
Totally different.
We'll continue that right after this, though.
We're back again with Dr. Mohammad Kamal. Doctor, before we went on a break, we were talking about your journey, and I'm pretty sure you had a question, Ahmed.
So you worked as both as a dentist and a doctor in Kuwait. How do these experiences compare to you?
It was absolutely, totally paradoxical with new experiences and new lifestyle. Both of the experiences gave me the feeling of being grateful to my country, of having this opportunity to improve patients' quality of life. So when I worked as a dentist, I was focusing on a certain part of the body, focusing on certain procedures, using my hands. Then going to medicine, focusing on dealing with medically compromised patients, patients who are sick and old, and they are in need of major interventions. So I had to look at different perspectives. Now it was about time to move on and continue with the full specialization.
Right.
Now I want to bring the love of dentistry, the way that I was interacting with the patients, looking into their faces and their mouths and their jaws and their deformities, at the same time bring the knowledge that you brought from the general interaction and the knowledge with the patients, and putting all of this together to do the most difficult procedures that you can do for them. What do they need the most? And I decided that correcting patient faces and fixing their jaws, the deformities, the asymmetries in their faces, patients who have severe disfigurement in their face, these are the patients that I want to treat. This is an artistic thing that the doctor does to them to improve their quality of life. At the same time, it is very medical in the way you handle them. You take them to the OR, you take them to the hospital. This is very medically oriented specialty, and everything that you've done in dentistry is there. You're going to move the jaws, then everything about the teeth has to be handled. So that was a new jump start in my life, to search again for the best country to move on and continue the specialization. And that prompted me to travel around the world once again for testing and viewing and interviewing and choosing the best. I went to Hong Kong, to South Africa, to the UK, Ireland, Germany, Switzerland, Holland, France, all of these countries. I investigated and looked into specializing into this field, and which one will give me the best training so that I can take it and bring it back to my country. What do my people need? What does my university need? What do the future generations of students being trained under my hand at Kuwait University need? So the decision was to do the training in Germany, and that's where I went to Germany with a new experience, learning a new language. We're talking about working now.
Right.
Talking about Dutch.
New thing.
Learning Dutch, how was that?
Learning Deutsch. The Dutch is
okay.
the Dutch is Holland. That's the language of Holland, which I learned it as well.
Netherlands.
So Netherlands. So I speak a bit of Dutch, but the German language is a Deutsch, and I had to learn it, pronounce it, know how to interact with people. So I went again.
How did you learn the language?
I think it's like the most difficult language in the world.
See, when I went to Boston the first time learning English, it was
English,
still
though,
from...
You've been studying it in high school, middle school.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you know the basics.
It's the
Yeah,
same
the
approach.
basics.
It was, I started English as second language from the morning until the afternoon, going to language school.
So the same thing for German?
Same thing in Germany, but you are now, I don't know, 15 years older. it's the same thing, the same topics, same starting with numbers, with
So
letters,
not
how
the
to
same,
what am I word.
language.
You start from
Yeah.
level A. My name is Mohammad Kamal. I have to
Okay.
say it in German now.
Okay.
I come from Kuwait. I have to learn it in German, all
Right,
from
right,
beginning,
right.
all the
But you
way.
picked it up much quicker than most people would,
Well,
honestly.
why? Because you speak other languages. You speak the Arabic language, which is heavy in grammar.
Right,
Our Arabic
right,
is very
right.
heavy in grammar,
Mhm.
so we can learn it.
But again, it's not the same thing, I would say. I don't know, learning Deutsch, Deutsch, is it? Yeah.
Deutsch, yeah.
Deutsch is probably a lot more difficult, and it must be rewarding once you started, learning it, and you got there.
Yeah.
It must be very rewarding. How did that feel?
It felt great because you learn the language. You had to take language proficiency exams, and then in order to work, now I'm a dentist and a medical doctor. So the German authorities, they want to examine you in dentistry and in medicine. Now, two specialties simultaneously, you have to be examined to get the license to practice dentistry and medicine. You're treating patients now in Germany. So you have to prove your efficiency in terms of knowledge, in terms of proficiency in the language in both specialty. And so the burden was high in the beginning. But I knew at the
I can only
beginning,
imagine.
at the end, it will all pay off. Once you pass these examinations, then you're set to move on. Then I spent 5 years afterward in the hospital, knowing what I want to do. It's difficult. I am speaking German as a second language, but still, they'll help you. No matter how you work, how difficult it is, they will help you. The patient, if you meet a patient in German, a German patient, and you're trying to speak in German, you just take a minute. Be nice to them. Be emotional. Tell them, German is my second language. I have all the knowledge to let you feel safe at the end. If there's anything you don't understand, stop me and let me know.
Right.
If you still I couldn't clarify it, let me know. I'll ask for somebody to come and help. So just be passionate to patients. Just be passionate trying to help them. Bring the best to them.
Then, mashallah, how do you manage with all these passions you have, the language, the work,
The
all
art.
that, the
You
art?
still have passion for art, right?
You still have passion for
The passion
art.
for art continues. In fact, it got even more and more. Since I came to Kuwait as a surgeon in 2019, I did a lot of facial sculpting, so clay molding. I take a clay, I do complete 3D facial sculpting. You can look at my Instagram, there's a lot of posts about that. Fully live, I choose a character like Van Gogh. I did full sculpting of them. Ibn Sina. So this is an ancient Abyssinian, ancient Islamic scholar,
Paying
which I
homage.
also
Yeah, I
from
like
2D
that.
pictures I tried to create. So I continued into sculpting using my hands, both in surgeries and in something that gives me the feeling about delivering good quality work.
So you were the first person to be selected outside Europe to, examine the EU medical board of mouth, jawbones, the whole thing.
So yeah,
How
in
was that?
the field of medicine, if you study some specialty, for example, any specialty, dermatology, skin, the doctor, or anything that you study, at the end there is an examination that you become certified. This is called the board examination. This is examination that you are certified as a specialist. And I was invited by the European Specialty Board for this specialty, which is oral and maxillofacial surgery, for the surgeries of the head and neck region and surgery of the mouth and jaws. And I was invited to become an examiner because when I came to Germany, I had a wealth of knowledge from my prior experience in the
Absolutely
US.
did, yeah.
My language was shortcoming sometimes, but my knowledge, it was evident that I had the knowledge from the US. So as Europeans, they really wanted to improve the quality of the examination by incorporating new people. And this is another great thing. If you have something great to offer, somebody will ask for it. Somebody will need you. And in that regard, I was lucky to be invited by the European to examine European doctors who are applying for specialty and check for their knowledge. So That was a great opportunity for my life. It was great for Kuwait and for the faculty at Kuwait University to have somebody going there and examining doctors in Europe.
That's great, but you did something more, which is an amazing accomplishment, an achievement. You have an invention that's patented in the U.S., right?
Exactly. So
Please
the
tell us
way
about it.
I decide to continue with my life,
Mm.
I have like different arms I work with,
Mhm.
or I try to go in different directions. You have the academic work in which you teach. You teach the students. You
Mhm.
come up with the new ways to improve their educational understanding. The second thing is you invent. You just don't take a tool and do surgery. No,
Right.
I want to invent a tool.
That suits your needs as a doctor.
Since it's my
Right.
need, I have to increase to improve the quality of the things that are being used to do surgeries. So you have to invent. Another arm is giving people and helping people within reach in Kuwait. So we're living in a country that is pretty safe and people can reach to healthcare easily. What about people who are living in underserved areas in other
Right.
countries? Then that is another thing, trying to give to the people outside of Kuwait, trying to deliver care for them for free. And at the same time, continue with your art and you continue with your work of treating people. So this is how I live now. This is how is my joy.
Mhm.
You travel to different countries, I travel from different fields.
So,
Wow.
you believe that nobody can take education from you. Explain that. What do you mean by that?
Um, Education is probably the thing that sticks to you forever. It's not linked to your age. In fact, it becomes more valuable with age. It is something that is appreciated in every country you go to. So
Mhm.
if you've done this amount of knowledge and you are able to do this kind of procedure and you have the expertise in a certain field with the certification required, nobody can take that from you. You can always go into any country in the world and you will get appreciated. And this is very important for the new generations in Kuwait, trying to seek their future and get the best of education for them. They have to understand getting the best will pay off. Nobody is able to take that from you. This is not a paper that you can tear off. This is a set of ethical values, lots of knowledge, hard work, and experience that nobody can take from you. You can
That's
only
true.
give it away.
Right.
Nobody can take it from you and strip it from you.
That's true. Well, where you are right now, at the top, I would say, and with everything you've accomplished, what do you hope to do in the future? Any big plans?
So, my hope for the future is to inspire the young generation
Yeah,
in
and I think you
Kuwait
are.
to move
Already
on
are.
into the right direction.
Mhm.
They shouldn't say that our limit is to get this degree and stop. No.
Mhm.
Your limit is what you set in your dreams. If you dream of something, probably, most likely, it's achievable. It's difficult to dream of something that is not achievable.
Nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible. If you dream of it,
You can do
then
it.
it is most likely possible to
Possible
achieve.
to achieve.
So find the routes. You have to search and find the route how to achieve it. It might require that you put a little bit of extra energy into it, but it will pay off sooner than you think. So my goal is to inspire the young generation to get the best options and the best, not a good option. Seek what is the best.
Mm.
And it's easy that you can create a hierarchy of options. And the best option will always stand out, no matter what you think.
Beautiful words, Doctor. Thank you for joining us
Thank you
tonight.
for your time. I really love you. We were a little bit quiet, me and Ahmed, today, because we were listening to your story, and
Yeah.
I guess we just realized how privileged we are in Kuwait with education and the chances we might have missed.
Right.
And it's amazing to see people like you who took the chance, who did something nobody had the dare to do at that time. I mean, scholarships, traveling abroad was not really.
Learning new languages.
Yeah, and learning new languages. I mean, we have all the
Studying both
opportunities
types of
nowadays.
medicine.
Yeah, it's really great that I would love to inspire people as much as I can. I'm trying not to brag about myself, but I want to be an inspiration to all of the young generations to understand that there are options, and you are doing a great job delivering this message to the population in Kuwait and the area.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for
We
coming on the
loved
show.
having
yeah.
you here.
Lovely conversation.
You are an inspiration. You're inspiring us. We should do volunteering, Ahmed.
We should.
Are
But
you going to?
we said a lot of things so far
We
that
said
we
we're
wanted
going-
to do, but we'll see.
There's a list.
There's a
All
list.
together. Let's do it all together.
Oh, well,
Sure,
that works
okay.
out. That'll
Yeah,
be great.
That'll be perfect.
Okay.
So thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us here. On
Okay,
the show.
thank you for interviewing me. Thank you. I look forward to meeting you again.
Of course. We'll be back for the wrap up.
So we have reached the end of our episode for today with our guest
Yes.
and Ahmed. Inspiration.
He's such an
Were you
inspirational
inspired?
character. Yes. Not that I'm gonna study more things in life, but he's inspired.
I'm not gonna study
inspirational for our
medicine either.
viewers.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm not. You're not gonna
Some
be a
people
doctor.
are not
soon.
cut for everything, you know.
Yeah,
We're meant for this.
I cannot even count on myself to save my own life. Trust me.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I can save other people's life. I need saving. I need saving.
She needs saving. Well, that's all for tonight's episode. Tune into our show next time for more guests right here on the Untold. Same time, same place.
Good night.
Yes.